So we're here now in 2018. I think it's going to be a very pivotal year for the band because your record just dropped. And because of the long history that the band has had, and now we're finally getting this really high-level release for the band. And I asked you guys this off camera, but I mean, is this really like what you guys would consider the first official PigWeed release, or are there other like little EPs or demos that you guys released in the past?
Demos here and there, but that's all it really was. I mean, this is really our first album that we put out as a unit. Yeah. So we consider it the first album for the band.
Yeah, and even the album title has the album title has some history behind it.
The weight.
The weight.
Not the weight like estoy esperando the weight. It's like I eat too many tacos.
Too many tacos, yeah. No, but even then, because the thing is, we've always had big members, you know what I mean, in the band. And so we've always said, I have to give homage to John Anderson. We love the guy. And he always said, man, we have like, what did he say? Do you remember? Something about like, we're just going to be the heaviest band. Coming in at 2,000 pounds. The heaviest band in Texas, you know?
Not like and the heaviest, most brutal, but
but the thing is, it had three meanings. It was because we're heavy-ass guys. We're big dudes. The music was going to be heavy. And on top of that, we waited a long time to release it. Great. So it had a really good.
Great, yeah. I love that. I love that. So let's get into it for all you people out there who don't yet have it. The brand new PigWeed came out on March 9th on Pavement Entertainment. It's out there right now. Go get it after you watch this interview. God, I'm 100% behind this record. I love this record. I listen to it every day. I jam it every day. It's in my phone. It's in my phone. It has not been off my phone since the record label sent it to me. Not David. The record label sent it to me.
Come on, D.
Hey, when he contacted me and said, man, I love the album, I was like, how the hell did you get that? Because I knew I was the one that was supposed to send it to him. But no, we're just glad it got into your hands, man, and you were able to check it out.
So let's talk about it. Let's jump into it. This record is a full-length record. Lots of songs on it. It seems like now these days, bands are not, they're not trying to put out full lengths anymore. They're doing kind of like these little EPs and then getting people wet and stuff, and then they're releasing more music once they try to build up. Why did you guys decide to kind of do a full length record? You guys just said we just have a lot of material. We just want to get it out.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the reasons, and then the other reason was like we need to punch them in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. Funk, you want to add anything to that?
A good thing that I love about Funk being in the band. I'll say this, first and foremost, I've always been a digital guy. For my amps, I started off with the Marshall Valve State 200. I was badass, like 200 watts of all solid state. It was awesome, Anyway, it sounded like crap, right? And little did I know. And then I came into the Line 6.2 Veda. And then after the Line 6.2 Veda sounded like crap. I had no idea. And then after that, I got to the Axe-FX, then the Axe-FX Ultra, then the Axe-FX 2, and then Funky kicked my ass coming in with his Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, and I was like, man, I can't be dealing with this digital stuff, So I went full tube, and I've just been there ever since. I love it.
It was funny. It was kind of funny because when we was at practice and everything, Mo would be sitting over there. I come in there, bow, bow. You hear that bolt? Yeah. I got the tubes. They look like a dog, like a goat's nut sack. They big tubes and everything. Oh, sorry. No. Mo was sitting over there by his amp, talking about playing. I'm like, and it was all and it's all digital. So he's like, what kind of cap? What is your tube size? What is this? What is that? I'm like, this is what a boogie sounds like.
Yeah, man. So now they have to turn louder. When I joined the band a year ago, I hit hard. I break the sticks. I break the skins. Sweet. Whenever I started playing, these guys had to turn up louder.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. Especially when he hits that snare drum. It's like,
There's so many killer tracks on this record. I was telling you guys, I love the Putrid. I can listen to that song over and over again. It just makes me bang my head. And then you get into a track like The Suffering, which is really, I think, for bands who kind of play that style, that really kind of heavy headbanging kind of Cornish type of metal, that down-tuned stuff. unprecedented to hear bands like that play a long song. That track comes in at what, 11 minutes? Wow, yeah, and I mean it's so atmospheric too. I mean, talk a little bit about how these songs came together. I mean, it was a really a long process to get these songs together. Are these kind of songs that you've had, throughout the duration of the band and kind of have evolved them into what they are on this recording? Obviously, because they just sound like great pieces of work. And when I listen to them, I'm like, man, how the fuck did they come up with this track? Because it's so in depth and it has so many peaks and valleys, and the guitarists sound great on it, and what you and Fresh are doing on the Vox too, kind of mixing it up. I mean, it doesn't, I don't hear a lot of bands in our scene at least doing that type of music or doing it to that extent. So talk a little bit about that writing process, or really just kind of how these songs kind of evolved to what they are today.
If you don't mind, you mentioned the song "The Suffer," and that's probably one of the oldest ones that we've had. That one, and also "Time Is Now," which used to be called "Fuck the World." I hope we can cuss, but the thing is, I'm always a proponent for not cussing, so we changed the title to "Time Is Now," and we've edited a lot of the songs on there. But first and foremost, "Suffer." That song came about with Fresh Rudy, our singer, our screamer. His mom was passing away. She had, I don't even know what issue she had, but she was bedridden really when we met him, and she was bedridden for several years. And when we wrote that song, the vocals, the lyrics came about to say, his mom was always suffering. Saying that the word saying, everyone has to die someday, but not everybody should suffer. But in the chorus, it comes out to say, do we all understand that when we die, we all go to a promised land? And like I said, his emotion that he has in that is about his mom suffering. And that whole ending part where it goes into the slow part, that's after she's passed away. And, now we're wallowing in the sorrow of her death. And, since then, my mom passed away 3 years ago. And Funky's mom passed away a year. So, so for us, Suffer it has been our homage to our mothers, first and foremost, And luckily, it's only been our mom so far, hopefully for a long time our dads will stay. But it's been about our moms, that they've really passed away. And it kind of, I feel bad too, because Dee's kind of going through some stuff with his mom. She's going through some stuff, and hopefully she'll pull through it. And so that song's been just the suffering that our family goes through, first and foremost. Yes, we do. Yeah.
Wow, cool.
That song is probably one of the most emotional songs that we do live. I don't even think we really pay attention to the crowd. I think it's really something more intimate for the band, because, well, y'all guys got to come out and check it out, and you'll know what I'm talking about. You feel every word, every note in that song.
Yeah, it's a hard one to kind of get through sometimes. You can feel it, and we all looking at each other, with each other on that one. It's like, we can get through this song and everything like that, but you can definitely see the emotions and during that song.
Share a little bit about the Putrid, because like I said, that's my favorite song.
That's Dee's favorite song. That's Dee's favorite song, so we got it.
It's one of my favorite songs, but Mo had come up with this catchy rhythm, and pretty much when I heard it, everything that I write vocally has to do with something that's going on with me. So I was in a phase of my life where I was mad a lot at stuff that was going on. So that's when I heard that rhythm, it was like, it just had to be that strong, And then once I did the verse and Mo came up with the chorus, it just went from there.
Yeah.
I will add to this, and I don't know if the guys will appreciate this or not, but a lot of the songs that I come up with vocally and even musically are Christian based, because I'm I'm very solid in my faith in Christ, and so that song in itself is kind of on a reverse of that. Like the chorus, it says the putrid, the wicked, maledicted means the people who are addicted to sin.
Yeah.
And so, and then the whole thing about the verse is, going through everything that sin causes you, and to hopefully be able to get out of that at the very end, We had at the very end, I don't know if we actually recorded it or not, but we have the part where it says, so walk away, we don't, right? There's a whole, and the whole ending part where it's just a heavy breakdown, we actually recorded a part that says, so walk away, So get away. It's something like, in other words, move away from your sin in your life. And so, you know, and the thing is, I'm always pushing for that because the Lord's who we're going to meet after we die. You know, and I know sometimes these guys don't want to push it that way in that direction, but I always push it. There's just no other way for me to do it, you know.
But that inspiration gives you inspiration to write.
Yeah.
Gives you something to write about. Interesting. God, you know, wow. Because when I thought about the Putrid, I'm like thinking these are the bad people. The Putrid are like the scum of the earth. Yeah, interesting. Great. I'm going to think about that next time I jam that song later tonight. So, you know, one of the things, too, a couple of other things before we move on from the record. I was, again, kind of pleasantly surprised and happy that you guys are working with Pavement Entertainment. Obviously, they're doing some publicity for you. That's who got the record in my hand. But also, you know, hopefully they're going to help you guys, you know, spread the name PigWeed beyond our city and region. How did kind of the connection with Pavement come about? Because I was not aware of it at all.
Well,
And usually when a band starts working kind of at it, even though, you know, it's an underground level, it's still at a professional level, I'm usually aware of it. And I did not know that PigWeed had kind of crossed that border.
well, it had come a time where I had come to the guys and said, hey, I feel that we should go to the next level.
Yeah.
So we all were in agreement that I would just try to look around and see what else was out there for us. So I actually hit Pavement up probably about almost 3 years ago. And I was hitting all these labels up, management, I was hitting everybody. And I'm talking daily. And they probably got sick of me.
Were you sending them
I was sending them samples of music. I was sending them samples of live videos. I was just trying. I was trying to get.
Trying to entice them, you know. Like, come on, baby, you want some of
I
this?
was trying to get a response, and there was just nothing. But I just kept pushing. I kept pushing because I've always had confidence in what we do and how we do it, and I know that our songs have a meaning behind them. So I just kept pushing and pushing. And at one point, I kind of slowed up. And that's when we got Danny in the band. And I started to realize, man, we're starting to get prime members in this band.
Right.
People that really will make the sacrifice to go to the next level.
Right.
Bring that sound.
So I saw Pavement come up on my messenger. And I sent him a message. All I said was, have you seen PigWeed yet? And he hit me back and said, what's the name again? I said, PigWeed. He goes, are y'all playing with one of my bands? It just so happened we were playing with Head PE.
Oh, okay.
The following day or a couple of days later.
One of my favorite bands.
Oh, really?
And so that was that. And we played the show. And probably about 2 days after the show, I got an email. And
Were they at the show?
yeah,
Management.
management or whoever was with Head PE,
Right.
they were under Pavement at the time.
Right.
I guess he told them to keep an eye on us. I don't know. All I know is I got the email and it said, hey, we checked it out. We saw some of y'all live. We'd love to work with y'all guys. And we'd love for y'all to be a part of the Pavement family.
And that was my first show. That was my first show with PigWeed.
Oh, really?
That was my very first show.
So happened, I was in another band that night, and I was playing for another band, and they said they needed a drummer, and I hooked up with them that night. So it all happened all together that night.
So that was about 2 or 3 years ago?
No, that was a year and a half ago.
I think I
I've been in the
played
bit.
drums on one of the songs, didn't I?
Yeah, you played Sepultura, the cover.
Nice. So the weight is out on Pavement Records, and it's getting distributed all over. People are going to be jamming to it. I have to kind of ask, because one of the things that, you know, the songs are good, but I think what makes them really profound is just that they're just recorded so well. I mean, they sound good on the stereo. I mean, they sound really pro. So did you guys record at any recording studio? Did you guys do it yourselves, or what happened?
Yeah, we went to Malicious Studios.
Yes, sir. No, Mo.
Located
Mo,
upstairs in the playroom.
Second floor.
Second floor playroom.
No, ever since I got in the band, Mo's been doing.
digital, but now he knows how to record it.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in a van down by the creek.
There you go.
No, ever since I got into PigWeed, he's been doing recordings.
That sounds great, man.
So after years and years of hearing him switch one song, I don't know, about 50,000 times.
Always a different mix.
He's like,
That's what's
it's a
up.
different mix,
Always
different
a
mix.
different mix.
And after a while, hearing the same song over and over, I was like, man, I don't see where the difference is. You know, but he's just gotten so good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just spending time. And he's put in a lot of work. And like I told him, you know, in text and on the phone, us guys in PigWeed, we really appreciate what he does for the band. You know, he writes, he helps produce, he records the whole album. I mean, he put in some work. So, you know, one of the main things is, you know, we wanted to let Mo know that we really appreciated that. So he puts in a lot of work. And all of us do. We do it in different areas.
Yeah.
Some do social media, some do the merch, some do different things. But we all have our own little area, and then when we come together,
Yeah, the live
it
show
just
is
works.
popping.
You need a dude like that in your band. So yeah, you're very fortunate to have someone like him, because if not, you'd be spending a lot of money to get a record that sounds that way. So Mo, I hope you make him buy you tacos at the end of the night. He's like, hey, buy me some freaking tacos, man. And before we go home and go to bed. Okay, so you know, I think I would be remiss not to share with fans out there who are learning about PigWeed this evening that you guys are a 6-piece band. You have 2 vocalists, 2 guitar players, a bass player, 3 guitar players. 3 vocalists. Holy, because you sing too. Yeah, I did not know that. But you guys are a 6-piece band. So obviously, when you're on stage, it's kind of like a really big presence on stage. And then, you know, you're doing mil máscaras and then the weight, then the mil máscaras. You know, it's scary. You know, chingao. Wow, that's kind of cool. So, talk a little bit about, before we talk about you know, what your plans are for shows, live shows. Kind of what's it been like with this kind of lineup? You talked about, you know, having this really good chemistry with now Funk and Tom in the band. What has kind of the reception been here in San Antonio and in the area where you've been playing when they see you guys come on stage? I've seen some videos on YouTube, and I've seen you guys do your thing. It seems really, really cool. How do you guys feel that fans are coming on board with that?
You know, Rob, one more thing before we even, it's kind of answering your question. I do want to bring up, first and foremost, we have our bass player, Chris Fletcher. You know, we haven't really talked about him yet, but he's been a big driving force for this band as well. You know, he's been in the band 6-7 years maybe? Yeah. Right? Probably somewhere around there?
6 years.
Probably about 6 years.
He left for a little while,
yeah,
but he came back.
Yeah, he left for a little bit, you know, because we were slacking off. Is really what it was. You know, we were really slacking off, and even us, we kind of broke up as a band. You know, he left, and I was I was the sole person in PigWeed.
Hold up, let's get this clear real quick.
I'm having mic problems, maybe. I'm sorry. And so, you know, first and foremost,
I was the only member.
hold on, no, I was still there, but his phone was turned off. So I just, first and foremost, you know, give it props to Fletch, because he was putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of motivation for the band. Man, he was like I said, the driving force really for PigWeed and where we were live as a band and where we were mentally as a group. You know, he was, man, it was awesome to see that, you know, and it was really sad when he left. It really hurt us, you know, and so we're really thankful that he came back, and we love the guy. And same thing, like I said, it just feels like a really, really big family, you know.
So let's talk about what you guys have lined up now, because obviously, you know, with such a killer release, you want to go out there and play shows and share the music with the people. What do you guys have lined up as far as shows in support of the Wait?
Well, we're playing tomorrow. Actually, our shows start tomorrow. We're playing in Austin at the Texas Miss.
Is that still part of South by Southwest?
I believe it is. And now we got so many shows.
Talk about the main shows.
The main shows that we got coming up is April 6th at the Dirty Dog. We're doing a Dead Sea Records showcase there. A lot of good bands on that bill. And then we do Power Man 5000 in Austin on April 14th. Huh? Oh, April 11th. Okay, April 11th. Sorry. We got some other stuff coming on. We got a tour coming up that we're doing for Pavement.
Oh, cool.
We're actually it's at the end of April, beginning of May. It's about 2 weeks long.
And that's taking you all up through the Midwest.
Yeah, all through the Midwest up to Chicago, Michigan, and all that.
How exciting that is, because you'll be playing in front of, new audiences in areas that probably you've never been with as PigWeed before. So it's a great opportunity to build a kind of a fan base up there and get people to know that you guys are PigWeed from San Antonio.
At first it was a little nerve-wracking, like, are these people are going to enjoy PigWeed or not? But as the tour was being booked, the booking agent was just getting a rowdy response from club owners, from people that have already heard of us. We have a lot of people hitting us up on Facebook, social media, asking us to come to Arizona, Ohio, New York, Florida. I mean, people were asking for us to come through Argentina. I mean, London. I mean, we have some people even in Japan that are trying to do some work for us. So once that started becoming noticeable, it was like, oh, wow, this is going to be fun, because now we have fans that are actually going to be going to those shows on this tour. We have certain people hitting us up going, hey, I live by there. I'll be there, and it's awesome to see people that never heard of us, be excited about it. We even have a couple of clubs that when he was doing the booking, he was trying to, make sure everything was lined up for us. So he did a couple clubs in one town, and what happened was he winded up taking one offer, but then found out that the other club owner was a big fan of PigWeed and made a bigger offer. So now they're switching clubs and doing all kinds of stuff, and it's amazing, really.
Yeah. Also, he was talking about Argentina, all these places that they want us to play at. Also a lot of it has to do with my wife Michelle. She's part of our management. She does a lot of social media. She puts our stuff on forums for us. She does a very good job of that. Her and David, myself too. But she's the one. She's always on it from every day. She gets off work, she's on it. Promoting us. You have to have that presence. Yeah, she's doing it for us really good.
Also, I know that you guys are doing a big show here in San Antonio in May, the Pig Fest at Fitzgerald's. Share a little bit about that, because I think, also too, I mean, kind of like your own little festival, little show. Obviously, you guys are headlining it, and will be making the weight available to fans that evening, and in a hard copy too.
Well, go. But no, me and D, we were sitting back and we were talking about, how we could bring back a brotherhood back to San Antonio with the band scene and everything like that, with the music scene, because it's not as close as it was back in, the 80s, 90s and everything like that. So I said, hey, let's get a bunch of San Antonio's heaviest hitters and, heaviest hitters, and, just throw a big festival, see who wants to throw down and everything. So called Under No One, Deadpool, also, right, Even in Death, so it's gonna be it's gonna be real fun.
Remember, everyone, here in San Antonio, the date is May 12th at Fitzgerald's Pig Fest. Put it on your calendar. I will be out there. Lots of people will be out there supporting the band, and I definitely want my hard copy. I want my hard copy. Okay, cool. As we get near the end of this interview, a couple of other things I want to talk about. First of all, video is such a big part of everybody's lives. Everybody's on their phones all the time. Are you guys planning to do any videos? And if you are, what track will you be doing the video for?
We're actually setting a date to do a video for the song Mistakes. And then we have 2 lyric videos coming out that's actually being worked on right now. One is for Eye of the Wasp, and the other one was for The End. And then once we do the first video, The guys are already kind of lining up because we're gonna do probably at least 3 videos for this album, and the Putrid's gonna be one of them.
Cool.
So,
You know, one cool story about that track, "The End," since you had mentioned it before, is I think we did that song. I had actually, I think we only had like 8 songs up to that time recorded, and like the album was due like in a week. So we got "Time Is Now," which it originally wasn't going to be on the album, and so we had to do that one. And then we came up with the song "The End." Musically, I was like, man, this is a badass song. Showed it to the guys, they loved it. We worked on the vocals. And like in less than a day, we finished that one, and it was awesome.
Like there's 10 tracks on the record.
11 tracks.
Okay, cool. Nice.
yeah, the end came up very quickly.
At the end.
Yeah. It was one of those situations where it was like, man, Mo, what are we going to do? You know, we need another song. And he was just kind of shuffling through some music. And I told him, hey, play that track you just played. So he played it over. And I just grabbed my pen and we started. I showed him the patterns, and we went together.
No, you grabbed my pen.
I grabbed his pen.
And I'm a germaphobe, so you kept it. I was like, hey, look,
But we wrote all the vocals for that song and recorded them in one night.
Wow.
Like all within a couple of hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and we've gotten a really good response from that song. So,
I look forward to seeing the videos. I mean, I think videos are very important. And I love those tracks, man. I'll definitely be a person sharing, the music. I've tried to share the PigWeed, my excitement about this release with as many people as I can. And I will continue to do so because I think this record deserves the support that you guys are giving it. And, it's tough, to be an underground band and to be away from our friends and families and being out there on the road and doing your thing, man, for the passion. No one's getting rich in heavy metal at our level, but we do it because we love what we do, and we love making a difference in people's lives and turning them on to great music, man. And I think you guys have a stellar record. I would not be doing this interview if I did not believe and love this record. So as we end out, guys, you're welcome. As we end out, guys, any last words, anything I missed, anything you want to share with the people in San Antonio? And I'll pass the mic around as we end out. So share any last words that you want.
I just want to give a shout out to all my family and friends out there who are going to watch this. I love y'all. My kids, Chris, Emerald, Ariella, Alicia, all my family, my mom and dad, thank them for giving me my drum set for the first time. And I know I wore their ears out, but thank you, and thank you, God. Thank you, God, for everything.
I would just like to say, come out to the live shows. That's where it's really at. When you have 6, to answer your question about the live shows, when you have 6 people on stage, there's constant movement. So if we're moving around, that gets the crowd moving around. You just don't want to go to a show and just see somebody standing there like that. You want to, if you groove, they groove. So it's all about the groove and everything like that. So it's a big party, and we want people to come out, and just come out there and have a few 12-ounce curls with us, or whatever your beverage of choice is, and just come and party with us, and you'll enjoy it.
man, I just want to say thanks to everybody. I mean, there's so many people out there that support us and have been there for us. I couldn't name everybody, but y'all know who you are, so I want to say thanks to everyone and the fans. And let me say one thing. I grew up watching Rob's MetalWorks, and he has put in his work interviewing these bands, getting the word out there for everybody, pushing these albums. I just wanted to tell Rob that I appreciate everything you're doing for PigWeed. And like I told you when I walked in here, I've waited years to be in this room, and I am here. So, but all in all, it's all fun and fun and games, man. But in the very end, everybody here is supportive, and I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Yeah, nobody does it like you do, man. Nobody really does it like you. That's what's awesome. It really is awesome, and keep fighting the fight, man. In your case too, So, first and foremost, like you said, everybody's thanking somebody. Like you said, man, I want to thank God, and I want to thank definitely my family for allowing me to do what I do. Because I've been doing it since before I met my wife, and I'm doing it now, and it's really because she allows me to do it in a sense, let me invest the money that I've invested in all the recording equipment, the time, And so I want to
Because
definitely,
she loves you, man.
yes, definitely. So I want to definitely give a shout out, like I said, and much love to my family. And so, but thank you, like I said, thank you to you, Rob. Thank you.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for coming over here to the MetalWorks. Thank you for spending time with us and sharing and opening up your hearts about the band and the music, everything. Like I told you, I've been anticipating tonight for a while. Dave and I have had it on our calendar for a little bit, but I was like, God, I want to talk about this record, and I want to share it with people all over the world who are going to watch this interview. Remember, everyone out there, the brand new from Pigweed is called The Wait. Woo! It is out now on Pavement Entertainment. It came out March 9th. Be sure to go out there and pick it up tonight. You saw the band only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.